What's happening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and fellow YouTubers? Hope you guys are having a really awesome winter, because winter is coming to STO. As you guys might have seen, there is a blog post coming up with the winter event of 2017, and it is also on your calendar. If you go up here to hail the Admiral button J on your keyboard, there is an event that is called the Q's Winter Event that is going to start off in 4 days and a little bit of hours and minutes at the time of this recording, obviously. Now, some of these events are definitely interesting to do, and I hope you guys are going to do them like I am going to do them every day. And I thought to myself, let me make a little bit of a video, tips and tricks, obviously, where you guys can have the full benefit of the enjoyment, obviously, for these winter events. Now, some of these winter events, or parkours, as they call it, are related to your movement speed on your base of your characters. So that is what we are going to talk about in this video. Or at least I'm going to talk about it. You guys are going to watch the video. So with that in mind, I'm actually going to show off a couple of things that might be interesting for you if you're going to do those events. Now, luckily, like Cryptic, Perfect World Entertainment over there, also increased, or at least also in the statistic window of your character, they also added these running speed meters. I think it's meters per second. There's a number right here, so that's 13. That is basically me. That is basically you if you haven't done anything related to the movement speed of your character. And this is how it is. You know, your character movement is basically what it is, movement of your character, and that is 13, I'm guessing, meters per second. And well, if everybody is having the same running speed, it is really competitive, and it is really awesome because everybody is going to have the same, same chance to get yourself all of the items and maybe get first place in those events. But in this video, I'm actually going to increase your movement speed by a little bit. And I personally think it is definitely worthwhile to maybe invest in some of these items that I'm going to display up here. Now, obviously, we are going to start off with the oldest, the oldest trick in the book, and the players that have been doing these winter events for a long time probably know what I'm talking about, and that is this thing. This one is called the Counter Command Exo Armor, and if you equip this thing, it's going to increase your movement speed after a dodge. So a dodge is just you basically moving forward and then hitting the C button to crouch, and it's basically going to increase your movement, like that glow that you guys are seeing on my character. That is just a visual representation that this character has a higher movement speed. Now, this also works when you are running, so it is definitely going to be increased for the next 3 seconds. And you guys can see it right here, the base amount of meters per second, and I'm just guessing here, it is 13. So if I start running, it's still going to be 13, but if I do the dodge and I run again, it's going to increase by 16.25. So that is the first tip that I'm actually giving you guys for the next 3 seconds. Every time you do a dodge or a roll, you're going to increase your movement speed for the next 3 seconds. And you can definitely do that over and over again and increase your movement speed or your running speed or your sprinting speed, whatever have you. Now, the second one is the most important thing that you guys can grab out of this video, and I hope you guys are paying attention right now, because this is definitely important. I would actually get over to the exchange right now, open the game client on the background, and go to the exchange and grab one of these modifiers, or at least one of these guns with a modifier run. The modifier run on like a particular weapons, ground-based weapons only, they have an increasement of plus 25% only if you equip them in your primary slot. And as you guys can see, it is in my primary slot, and you can see the movement speed, even though I'm standing still, I'm not running or anything like that, has been increased by 25%, 14.95. This also applies to my running speed and also my walking speed. So if we combine both of them, including the forward dodge, we're going to get 18.22. Look at that. My character is like flying all over the place. And that is just because I have incorporated the forward dodge or forward roll, and also the plus 25% in those 3 seconds that buff is active. Now, it's not done yet. It's not over. This video is going to be full of tips and tricks that is going to increase your movement speed. And I'm just going to go through all of them one by one, because I really don't want to make this video longer than it has to be. So those are two really awesome tips, obviously, for you to get yourself at first place during those events, or at least those parkours where you basically need to go from point A to point B with lots of turns and obstacles that you need to avoid with, you know, a higher running speed. Now, obviously, you can increase your running speed by giving yourself a couple of specialization. If you already equipped it, or at least unlocked all of these specializations, there are two specializations that I would recommend for you to have on your active or primary. The primary or secondary, I mean. The first one is going to be the command. Basically, use that as a secondary, because you only need these first row. Actually, only the first row is really important for increasing your speed, and that is because we are looking at the forward march. So increasing the running speed while sprinting for you and all nearby teammates by 5% increasement in sprint speed. Now, if you look at this, it's still 14.95, but if we start running, it's going to increase by 15.60. And I did not do that forward roll. So if I do the forward roll and have the buff from the armor itself, it's going to increase my running speed at 18.85. There we go. So that is also a nice tip for you guys to increase your running speed just for a little bit. But we started off at 13. Remember that, right? That is the base amount of running speed. I think it's 13 meters, I'm guessing right here, per second. So another one also equipping from this specialization is the new Miracle Worker. Now, there are a couple of items that we actually need, so we need to activate this as a primary. This one is definitely awesome. So even though I don't think that this is going to be active when we are going to be at the Q Winter Wonderland, the map, because this one actually needs you to use your melee attack. But this thing, if successfully you can engage maybe snowmans or whatever, you're going to get plus 25 run speed for the next 10 seconds, and definitely an increasement in speed there as well. And also, if you have unlocked them all the way to the end, this is an activatable buff that I'm going to show you guys later on the video, activating this ability to grant you and your teammates an increase maximum hit point, incoming healing, run speed. That is what we're interested in right there. And resistance rating versus range weapon offline. So this is going to increase our running speed for the next 30 seconds by 20%. Now everything is going to add up, and everything is definitely worthwhile. And this is everything that I can actually show you right here without actually engaging enemies or anything like that. I would say 18.85 is definitely better than 13. Now, there is one different item that not a lot of players might have on their character, or they have unlocked this one on their character. That is the frosted boots, the one that I'm actually highlighting right now. This is going to increase the running speed, but traction is reduced. And if I bring up my powers, should be somewhere right here. Wait a minute, I thought I had it on my slot. There we go. So this thing right here, you actually start running, or you can actually activate this one. It's going to give your character like, you know, frosted boots. Right there, you can see it on my character's feet. It's like, you know, it's full of ice or icicles. And it's like, yeah, this is the downside of this frosted boots. Like whenever you want to go to a particular different direction, it's basically going to it's going to lose traction, and it's still going to go forward if you're actually moving forward. But looking at my run speed, 22.60 without doing the forward roll. If I do the forward roll and also have my running speed, 2585. So I would say you are definitely out of excuses not to get first place in those events right there. So we started off at 13 and now we are at 22.60. Now guys, if you are still interested in increasing your movement speed in ground or from your character in ground, I'm actually going to equip some other items, some traits, and we are definitely going to increase the movement speed as well. Now, I already did the specialization, so there were 2 points that I gave you guys, a couple of, or at least the modifier run, the armor, form the counter command, and now we're going to move over to the traits. Now, there are a couple of traits that is definitely going to add to your movement speed while you are in ground. This is always going to be active, and those are, if I can look them up in my cheat sheet right there, spring yours up. Okay, ground reputation, there are 2 of them. Physical condition, this one right here, this is a flat plus 5% run speed addition to your character. There it goes, and there is another one. Right here, close quarters combat, that is also going to give you a 3% in running speed. So if we go back to my character, running speed is when I'm not even moving is at 15.99, and if I start running, 16.64. If I equipped the frosted boots, 23 at 64. If I do the dodge or the roll, 2689. How about that, right? How about that? Just just crazy. We actually doubled the starting of our characters. So you guys are out of excuses not to come in first place. Now, I do want to recommend, like, if you are a pro player, let me just say it like that, and have a lot of experience, I would definitely recommend grabbing the frosted boots, because those are really, increasing your movement speed. But if you're new to STO, I would not invest in frosted boots, because they really make it hard on your character to move around, and there is a particular skill set. Let's just keep it nice to have these frosted boots on your character and actually have, the benefit of that. Now, part 2 of this video is where I'm actually going to equip all of the other items right here that you guys can see, all of the traits. There are a couple of different traits that I want to show you guys, and a couple of activatables that is going to increase your movement speed immensely. Let's just say it like that. Immensely is going to increase your movement speed. But from this part on, let me just, make a statement right here. All of the items that you're going to see from this part of the video, these are not going to be available during the winter event. So if you're just interested in the winter event and how you can increase your movement speed, that's about it for you guys. But if you have, if you have a little bit of curiosity, like how fast can a character actually go, I would definitely recommend you watching the video a little bit longer. Now, I'm going to cut the video right here because I need to set all of the items up, and then I'm going to start it up again and give you guys a rundown on that. So we are back. I actually did a little bit of testing involved in actually setting this thing up. It's kind of funny to say the least, but I actually managed to grab like 4 tacticals players, and the reason why I'm actually doing that is because of this, the Coalition Squad Tactics. Now, this is a ground trait. You will gain substantial bonuses depending upon your compilation of your team. For each player on your team, you will gain a different personal bonus depending upon its profession, engineering, science, or tactical. Now, we are definitely interested in speeds. That is this video, or at least this video is all about that. So, per tactical teammate, you're going to get a plus 3% in run speed and dodge. So we are having 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So we are going to have a total amount of 12% in running speed. Now there are a couple of mentions here and there where they actually talk about increasing your movement speed, but some of them are like, where you actually need to accomplish something, maybe a NPC takedown or a player takedown, or maybe applies in specific circumstances like this one right here. When you use a control ability, you will gain plus 25 in increased movement speed for the next 10 seconds. Now, I'm not even going to go through all of that, but I have to say it is one of those possibilities. For the next 10 seconds you're going to get plus 25 in movement speed increase. Something that I also added into the ground reputation is this one. It is unstoppable. That is the player takedown healing / speed buff. That is what I actually talked about just a couple of seconds before this. Defeating an enemy player will drop a buff from your team. Any ally member passing through the buff will grant a short duration speed increase and a shield and hit points heal for the entire team. So we are going to get for the next 6 seconds plus 27.7 in running speed. If we actually take down an NPC, and that is a 5% against non-players. So those are honorable mentions. There's also one on your skills where you actually need to use a melee, this one, on a particular enemy, and if you use that, you're going to get an increasement in your base speed. But saying all of that, my running speed at default is a 17.95. Now, a couple of things that I added to the character. This is the only kit performance ×2 that I had. I don't have a ×3 yet. Working on that, and grabbing one from the exchange just for the purpose of this video is just too pricey. Let me just say that it's too pricey to grab a crit performance ×3 from the exchange. I think they were up 300 or something like that. I haven't checked, but the last time that I did checked, they were up there, really high, really expensive in the EC. So I just grabbed one. ×2 is okay for this video. Now, why I actually need that is because of this, the motion accelerator. So this thing, activating this thing, it is an activatable buff right here, and this is only for tactical players. Those players that are based on engineering and science basically need to do my math on that, but they basically have the same kind of buffs, or at least I hope they do. But anyway, activating this thing for the next 22.5 seconds, we are going to get a plus 41% in running speed. So that is crazy, 41%. Now, like I said, all of these items that you guys are seeing currently on this video, before I actually stopped it, these can be applied everywhere where there is an enemy, like, we are at Nimbus right now, so we have like scorpions all over the place, and we are actually going to fight off with one of those guys just to get these buffs going. Another one of those mentions is the Psionic Command aura that is going to give us plus 20% in running speed for the next 5 seconds. So, definitely an increasement in running speed. Now, I am going to start off by recording a demo record, a little bit of a movie, so you guys can actually see the differences between normal pace and the one that I actually recommend you guys using without the frosted boots, and then with the frosted boots, and then obviously the one that is going to come after this one. Okay, so I just found out something really interesting. When you are in combat, your frosted boots actually do not work. That is weird to say the least. But if you guys can see, my bridge officer right there, he actually killed a couple of scorpions, and they actually have that buff right there. So we are definitely going to try those to increase the running speed all the way to the maximum. So let's aggro on these guys. Hopefully they're gonna follow me to this place. There we are. Now this is gonna be the starting point right here where my bridge officer is located. And then here we go. And then I'm gonna do the dodge as well, so we can get that as well. 32, 55, 33. All right, I hit 33 just a little bit, and this is how fast this thing is gonna go. Look at this. This thing is awesome. Nice. Crazy. All right, the buff is still active. It's still active. 22. All right, this is as far as we can go. Let's see. 300. Okay, the other one was a better run than this one. We went farther. Nice. All right, so that was it. Nothing more to say about moving in a fast pace to where you want to go. Now, obviously, some of these items can be used. Some of them are just, you know, just to showcase how fast this thing can go. I don't think there is a real purpose in movement speed in STO, to say the least. It's all just for fun and games. I guess it's just, you know, it's just for fun. I hope you guys had a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of knowledge, actually. That's more important in these videos than you, yeah, a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of entertainment. I hope you guys are satisfied with those two. And I definitely hope to see you guys on the next video. Take care for now. And I hope you guys are going to have lots of fun during the Q's Winter Games events. Later.